the shotgun start in golf is full of mathematics. There's a lot of setup work that we have to do in order to make a tournament work. So I'm going to demonstrate to you just exactly how we do a shotgun start here.
And here we go.
Hey. All right. Gentlemen, start your engine!
Greetings and welcome to a Saturday edition of the Shotgun Start. It is May 17th. Andy, how are we doing?
Brendan, I'm doing great. You know, the chief rolled into the Green Mile, assessed the inmates on the Green Mile, strolled down it, and just made mincemeat of it. The chief establishing his position at the top.
You see that jailbreak in New Orleans? Is the video? There's like 10 guys running out. That ain't happening with the sheriff of the Fair Police and his precinct and his Green Mile. It ain't happening. Locked down, locked in. Scotty Scheffler, divot, replace divot. I looked like the fairness. They might come back at him. He might get reprimanded. Fair Police with a divot might come his way, or a replace divot, and he just comes over the top. Imposes his will. He's the chief. This is his precinct, and he's up 3 with 1 round to play in Charlotte. He's 11 under. What was that?
After numerous complaints about the siren, that's the new chief soundbite.
Love that. Just law and order.
Honestly, it kind of fits. PJ and I were in here, messing around while it was coming down the stretch, and you could just do it after every shot he hit because it's just like, it's unbelievable. That was unbelievable.
It was incredible. Last 5 and 5 under. I thought this was supposed to be hard. Hardest 3 holes in the course. He tames them. I mean, nobody had made a birdie on 17. I think Cam Young, shout out to PJ. I think Cam Young was the only person to birdie like 2 hardest holes of the day for a while, 11 and 17.
And what did that get us? We're back to even, baby. That's what it got us.
He's just there.
The talent's there. The talent's there. He can play 1 hole sample sizes. Unlike anybody.
Yeah, better than anybody. I'd take him in 1 hole for my life. Cam Young is near the top of the list.
That's why he was a great TGL player.
That's right. Very good.
I might have been the best TGL player in the league.
Best player on the runner up. You get anything for that? Maybe could have been Finals MVP. I guess
that was one of my favorite nuggets. Like Cam Young, the only guy to birdie 11 and 17. Just incredible. Well, where is he? He's just there. Scotty imposing his will. And for a while there, it felt like it was going to be Bryson, Scotty, Rom,
Norin,
maybe a little Fitzy, and then kind of the guys that have Pavone and Vegas and Davis Riley tied for the lead in a minute. But we thought we had Scotty, Rom, and Bryson. Then that was Data Golf had a tweet about it. That was like 520. They were all 6-7 under. And within an hour, Bryson sort of loses 3 shots on, he does lose 3 shots on 2 holes. And Scotty goes over the final 5 holes. And it's like a 5 and a 6 shot cushion that he has over those 2 guys, which we'll get into Contender Pretender real fast here, right off the top. An incredible performance by Scotty Scheffler. And I'll add, you know what the difference was today? A Saturday without the chaplain. We saw what we got a year ago today on this day.
That's right.
Chaplain Saturday at the PGA. He took him out of his game. He could quote fairness, unfairness, fair police. But this was the chaplain difference on full display today. We got the real Scotty in full flight.
Maybe that's the only thing that could take Scotty out right now is a case of food poisoning from Teddy and the chaplain getting called in.
Is the
I don't think the
chaplain
chaplain would get called in.
Is he allowed to caddy on Sunday? That seems sort of like, yeah. How does that work? Sunday's his day to shine. Anyways, Scheffler goes, it was an incredible show. An incredible, incredible show. He got, he really got some good breaks. The bounce off the tree on 8 was incredible.
Was
an
it
incredible break.
fair? Was that a fair bounce?
Well,
Because he works his whole career to control the ball.
I wrote that down. He worked his whole life for that kind of bounce, right? These are the breaks of the game, good, bad, and otherwise. And the work he put in his whole life is what got him the shot on 17, the shot into 18, the hold off shot into 16 that didn't get him a birdie, but was a kind of a stress-free par. But yeah, that was an incredible. I mean, I don't know where that one's going. OB, of course, they find ways to get drops at Wells Fargo, as we saw, or at Quail Hollow, as we saw with Xander last year. You get it in the middle of the forest and end up in the clearing.
I forgot about that from the little what was it from a little
Cable.
a little
Shot
cable.
link. Yeah, cable running somewhere. Yeah. But yes, he goes from OB in the forest, I don't know, to in the middle of the fairway. So that was a good break, but obviously you need to play beyond just good breaks. He leads the field in strokes gained approach. He's third in strokes gained off the tee. He led both of those categories in round 3. He's obviously strokes gained total by a mile. And yeah, this is exactly. Didn't we talk about this on Wednesday? We talked about this in the preview show. This is precisely the test for Scotty, right? He might not. It was the Bombers Paradise stuff really came to fruition today. Like we the leaderboard hadn't fully been that the first 2 days, but it really started to rear its benefits today. But Scotty's plenty long enough, and it's a full-on execution test, and nobody's better at that than Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, that's the thing about this golf course is if you hit the shots, it really rewards you. I think that's why players like it so much. It's the quintessential. It's right there in front of you. That being said, there's there are some interesting holes, like just in terms of like the way the flow of the round works, where it's tough at the start. You have some gettable holes in the middle mixed in with tough holes. I mean, like 11 and 12 then total ass kickers all week. And then you get a couple real gimmies with 14 and 15 and you finish it. But at the end of the day, this tournament has been about putting the ball in the fairway. And if you put the ball in the fairway, you're at such a huge advantage. And I think like everybody, when Rory is full flight, when Bryson is full flight, those guys hit driver unbelievably, but you could always make a case that Scotty Scheffler might be the best driver of the golf ball because of his combination of accuracy and plus power. And this week, where being in the fairway has been such a premium, that accuracy is just, he's just putting himself into more positions to hit great shots than most players in the field. And he's doing that, and he's the best iron player in the world. Like
I thought 17 was obviously an incredible example of this. 17 kind of interesting. You can correct me on this or push back, but it feels like not architecture, but design can better combat these guys and elements. Of course, we had more wind today than just pure length, right? The scoring average was its hardest today. It was like 227 the first day. They've moved it up the last 2 days, and they pushed the pin front, right? They pushed it forward. Obviously, that's that's very tricky, right? These guys would rather fly it to the middle, let it run to the back. I mean, that's more, I don't know, it's less intimidating off the tee, right? And so it was one of the hardest holes, if not the hardest. Played to like a 3.5 average today, 3.3 the prior 2 days. But like you pick a good pin, right? That is the greater challenge. You got more wind today. That's always going to be the greater challenge than a pure like 230-yard test. It wasn't demonstrably harder, but it was much harder at 40 yards shorter. today, based on pin, based on conditions, and that's what really can battle these guys. But not for someone like Scotty, who is the most, as you said, the most accurate best distance control of this era, or of this whatever micro era. It was kind of I don't want to say easy par, but it was almost like a stress-free par, and he got even better than that. Got gravy and went in birdie.
Yeah. I mean, he just, the iron play. You saw him struggling the first round, really in particular. But we've seen this before with him, where seemingly something like clicks, and he just starts going. Yeah. And today everything was just full steam ahead. I do think, like, I'm like super impressed where he makes the bogey on 13, and you're kind of like, oh, well, like it felt like Scotty on the front, like, you know, everything was like, you know, and we've been saying this since Thursday. I'd like to ask everybody that was yelling at me on Thursday and Friday, saying I was disrespectful when I said Scotty's leading at 2 under.
Oh, yeah.
Scotty's leading yesterday at 5 under. Well, Scotty's leading now at 11 under. That's the leader today. But this is the thing. He just wears you out, and he makes that bogey, and it felt like he was getting to the top, and then you felt like once he got there, he was just going to be there. And that bogey, he had those couple bogeys at the start of the back nine, 11 and 13. And you're like, oh, maybe, like, and at that point, as you talked about, like, there were like 8 guys tied effectively. But then to come out and just slam, I mean, put the distance in. And this is just, you know, having 3 shots on Alex Noren and 5 shots on John Rahm, like the next major champion. So you have 5 shots between you and the next major champion that's a cushy lead.
It's not bad. I mean, you know, Bryson's talking about how he's coming out guns blazing tomorrow, which, you know, but it'd
be a bad thing. I feel like this is a quintessential golf course where you just have to, like, this is why it fits what Scotty's doing so well, is like, he's just letting all the opportunities come to him. The way he played the Green Mile, none of those shots were like out of control great, but they were all so sensible.
Yeah, Bryson did come out guns blazing today. I thought, just ripping, and you know, he only made 1 birdie through the first 6 holes. Those are hard holes, right? I mean, it's one of those stretches where guns blazing doesn't necessarily mean you're just wedging for 3. But he did shoot. I don't think he made a bogey until 16, and had the solo lead there, sort of firing up the crowd at 15. Scotty, let's just go contender, pretender. Oh, by the way, I thought this nugget was interesting. The only major in which Scotty, Bryson, and John Rahm were all among the top 10 on the leaderboard and in the final round of a major was the 21 U.S. Open at Torrey Pines. So Bryson, Scotty, and Rahm, top 10. The only time we've done it is Torrey.
Remember Bryson's back nine that year? Didn't he hit it into like a case of beer
box, or a White Claw box or something like that? Yeah,
shot like 42 on the back.
Yeah, God, forgot about that. One
from the YouTube chat. High marks for the Law and Order soundboard.
Hey, is Dick Wolf going to come after us? Are we in trouble for that one?
I hope not. I didn't really think about that yet.
Well, that's the ethos of this podcast.
Makes me want to hit makes me want to hit the Danny Powder, but I'm not going to.
Love it. Scotty, contender, pretender. We're just gonna say contender. Is that fair? Is that okay? We probably will be talking a lot more about him this time tomorrow night.
Actual leader might. I think the actual leader's Davis Riley at T3. He's 7 under. So I'm gonna say Scotty's a pretender because Davis Riley's stalking him. He wants retribution for that junior am.
God, there was a minute there. Davis Riley took the lead, and People were like, "Oh, it feels like a truist again." It's just like they can't win. Like, what's the margin here? If Scotty's up, it's a major. If Davis Riley takes the lead, it's a truist. It's that's just, I don't know. We let results dictate how we feel or what we see way too much.
I would,
But
like if you're looking for some guy that might be playing for more than just Glory's last shot or Glory's second shot, Davis Riley could be coming for Scotty. He could have like like from Billy Madison, he's got like the like a poster board up of the guy that he calls
crossing them off.
Yeah. He's still got that 2011 or whatever year it was, junior AM.
Yep.
Maybe 2014. It could be. I can't remember what year that was. Probably 2017.
We're gonna jump around here with contender pretender. Let's go to Bryson. Contender pretender. He is at 5 under. We just started talking about him. His control issues over the last 3+ holes. The Green Mile got him. He's 5 under. He's 6 back of Scotty Scheffler. He's gone 68-69 the last 2 rounds. Looking this today like it's going to be a 66, and he just gets popped. It's just an incredible difference between that finish between him and Scheffler. Had some interesting quotes. I like this is what you expect from Bryson on the finish. I'm 3 back with 1 round to go in a major. I can't complain. You can always ask for more. You can try to be a little greedier. This is amazing. So listen to this quote and hear how many times he might admit he made a bad shot. 16 didn't feel like I played that hole terrible. I just hit the tee shot a little farther right because I knew the wind was hauling down off the right and I could have hit it through the rough and pushed it out to the right. Hit it exactly where I wanted to be on the second shot. Hit a great third shot. A good fourth shot. It just broke left. Broke more left on that putt. 17, I hit a great 9-iron, exactly the way I wanted to.
But
the wind just
pumped the water.
The wind just pumped it. Nothing I can do. Nothing. The wind flipped from being neutral off the right like it was on 4, I believe, and it was just almost straight in, and we misjudged that. Considering on 16, we thought it was playing almost a little downwind. Hit a great shot into 17. I just made a dumb double. On 18, I hit a great 3-wood. Just needed to aim it more left. Consequently, I actually hit a great shot out of the bunker. Right on my target line. And wind just turned into me again. It was just the tail of the wind going into me instead of downwind. It cost me 3 shots, and that's what happens here at Quail Hollow. So I couldn't believe that. Really great, exact, perfect, exactly how I wanted to play it. But this to say, he's not. I don't think he was whining or complaining. He was not absolving himself. He was like accepting his fate. It cost me 3 shots, and that's what happens here at Quail Hollow. Just feels like it's taking a little less agency in the whole bit. I thought there was interesting. Did you see the Ryan Porath tweet? Interesting. Follow Ryan Porath. There's a lot of people out there just ripping takes. Smart people who put the original stuff out there, whether it's a joke, an analysis, and people just rip it and repackage it. Follow Ryan Porath, RDS Porath on Twitter. I'm not going to suggest this is original because no one, this is the kind, and I'm not suggesting he's correct, but something to ponder. Although they might be a net positive, this is about the shot on 17 that dunked in the water and cost Bryson a double. Although they might be a net positive, I also believe Bryson's curved face irons could be a big reason for missed shots, like the one on 17 today. As a drawer of the ball, a toe strike on a club with bulge will have more left spin access, resulting in more curve. He seemed totally befuddled by how much the shot curved based on the strike. Interesting thought. Bryson's equipment is always going to be a subject of discussion, right? The net, what's the net positive? Where can it might cost him? The single length with some of the wedges and the chips. He's become just an awesome, through the bag player, but his equipment's always going to come under scrutiny. So I thought that was interesting. He thinks he's hit a perfect shot. Is the extra bulge, according to Ryan, causing more left spin? Just an interesting point by him.
I love those comments.
Yeah. Great
I think,
shot. Perfect.
We've got Scotty's the chief of the fair police, and I have a very a strong belief that golfers are like the most irrationally confident race of people, species of people on the golf in the world are professional golfers for the most part. There's a few self-aware. Bryson, with those quotes, he might be like never hit a bad shot in his life type thing.
I mean, it's very, very possible.
It's incredible. It's a great skill. It's an incredible skill to have if you're playing professional golf, by the way. Like, this is a benefit to you want to have this. You don't want to be walking around the golf course thinking about all the bad shots you hit. You want to think that you never hit bad shots and that, just bad things happen to you.
Can I just, we're going to officially stamp him a contender or pretender here in a minute. He's 6 back. He got the solo lead today and started doing his pump up the crowd thing. Like, firing him up, trying to get him riled up, and looked like he was flying. And then he immediately gets popped in the face with a bogey and a double. He talked about how nervous he was at Augusta on Sunday. I think he's one of the great major championship players of the last, 2 or 3 years now. 2 years. Has won a major. He gets a little scruffy when he gets on the lead, near the lead, and we've seen it like Sunday at Augusta. He was pretty bad. Last year at Pinehurst on Sunday, I looked up the stats. He wasn't good. Like he was almost 0 off the tee, barely breaking even total. Like, he wasn't great on Sunday at Pinehurst. He was great when he needed to be, and that bunker shot, an all-timer. But he was not great on that Sunday. We've seen him struggle in more recent months in Miami and Mexico.
I want to point out,
yeah,
last year at Quail Hollow, the golf course couldn't make anybody look bad.
Yeah. So Augusta this year, Augusta last year, he was bad on the weekend. He wasn't necessarily fully as dialed in as he would become at Valhalla and Pinehurst, but he shot in the mid-70s both times last year, weak off the tee. I'm not suggesting he's a choker or anything like that. I just, like, everybody gets nervous when they get the lead, and he's a great player, and he's going to be in it more often than not. It's hard to win and get across the line. I was just shocked as soon as he got the solo lead, and pumped at the crowd. He went 3 over through 2 holes, and I think coming from behind tomorrow, he could go out and shoot 33 on the front and put the pressure on. But I saw theories
that put the pressure on, though.
I don't know. I don't think so. You're right. I saw a theory that he hits too many balls on the range. He starts to fade on the weekends because he's hit 1,000 balls, and no one can possibly hit that many balls. I just, Winged Foot was a long time ago. There were no fans, and we just have a few years now of instances where maybe he hasn't played his best when he got the lead at a major championship. I don't know. It's a little bit of a Zag take, I suppose. He seems to play to the crowd really well now.
I'm going to push back a little and just say it's really hard to win these things.
Yes.
It's hard to, like, you fight, and the nature of this golf course, until, like, if Scotty plays the Green Mile even par, I think probably what we're talking about is the golf course is just not letting people, like, every time somebody goes on a run, it takes one back. It is just kind of feels how the nature of this week has been up until the last 40 minutes of this tournament. What it's been is you kind of get going, and then you slip up and you come back, and there's a couple holes that you play bad. And I think that's been, this is just Scotty Scheffler, playing exceptional golf that really broke through of this huge swath of players. Because if Scotty finishes today, let's just say at 8 under or not even 9, if he's at 9, then you're looking at 12 guys within 4 shots of the lead going into Sunday. But he just lifted and separated, and I think that's just been the nature of the golf this week, is it's just been a give and a take. It's been tough conditions between, the soft fairways and firm greens, the mud balls. It was breezy today. It was not easy today. And I think sometimes you just got to take your hat off and say, like, this is a generational player doing something remarkable on a Saturday afternoon. And really this tournament's just going to be about I think if he shoots even par, he probably wins.
That's fine, but I mean, Bryson gave him three more cushion shots.
Did he give him 3?
Two, fine.
Two,
call it 2.
1,
Two.
2.
Call it 2. Can't hit in the
Yeah.
water. Can't hit in the
Yeah.
water on 17. I don't think.
I think it's pretty reasonable to think that you go through there. If you play it field average, you're playing it 1 over, 2 over,
Yeah. Yeah. My point is not to suggest I doubt Bryson's major championship chops and that he's going to not win more. It's just like we just sort of run to the stance that he is a great major player and that he's got the crowd and he's totally comfortable in that setting. When he's talked about the pressure, has really gotten to him or he's really felt it. And I think that's happened. That's going to happen to pretty much everyone. Is he a contender or pretend? Go ahead. Sorry. You want to jump in?
No.
Is he a contender or pretender? 6-pack.
I think he's actually a pretender.
Just because of the spread.
Well, you know what? Sure, he's a contender because if Scotty shoots 73, he's got a chance.
Okay.
It's just that's what I think
it's too much. Pretender, right? I think 6 is too much. It's just really hard.
So if Scotty shoots over par, if he's could Bryson get to 10 under?
Yeah.
Could Scotty shoot 1 over?
It's really hard to see that coming together. He doesn't make doubles. He made a mud ball double.
Would have had a double on 8, but he kicked out of the trees.
That's fair. All right, contender. I mean, Bryson could shoot 64. I'm sorry, he could shoot 64. We saw Siwoo Kim shoot that. Yes, I mean he had an ace, but he could shoot 64. I guess I'll go back and say it's a contender.
Are you putting Pavon at 5 under in the contender bucket?
How about him putting from 30 yards off the green, 25 yards off the green at 14? Pretend.
The announcers loved it too.
I know.
That's great.
I mean, but it was sort of indicative of maybe some deficiencies also. But it was a great play. He got his 3, I think. Pretender. Where are you putting Pavon? He hung around.
I'm putting Fitzy, Pavon, Tony Finau, Keegan Bradley, Jonathan Vegas, Siwoo Kim, JT Poston, Davis Riley, all in the pretender bucket.
Efficient. I love that. I don't dispute any of them. Davis Riley? 4 back. That's a lot. Is Davis Riley going to shoot 67 tomorrow? 66? Feels hard.
I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but
you're wrong. Right? You're wrong. You're wrong. Yeah.
Wouldn't be interesting if you just said, "Oh, everybody's a contender. They're within 6." Everybody might go out and have a great day.
Scotty could shoot 73, and they could shoot 64, and this is how it could happen. Yeah, that would be boring. One thing that's not a pretender is Good Walk Coffee. They're fueling the team at the shotgun start. Not PJ. We're not frauds here. PJ doesn't drink coffee. We're just going to straight up saying the team of the shotgun start is
kind of
just
crazy.
What?
That he doesn't drink coffee.
You drink lemonade.
People in my house drink coffee. My mom likes the Good Walk. She uses the Good Walk.
There you go. There you go. Mom approved. Good Walk. Mom approved.
Would she go with shotgun blend or fried egg blend?
I think shotgun blend.
Shotgun blend.
Jay doesn't know. It just smells like coffee. It's coffee. He doesn't know the blend.
That's the problem for me. It's the smell. I can't get past the smell. That's where I draw the line.
That's fair.
I could see you getting into the frappuccinos, those Starbucks bottled frappuccinos that have been around for like 25 years.
The ones that you get in the vending machine?
Yeah.
Oh God. No, I've never ventured down that path.
I think you could get into those if you had one. I think you'd really like it.
Well, if you don't want to go down vending machine frapped, you go to goodwalkcoffee.com/shotgun. Subscribe. Use the promo code SGS. You get 20% off your entire order. But if you subscribe, you get 10% off. So you get 30%. 20 plus 10 is 30. 30% off that first order, and then 10% thereafter. Every bag, every order on your subscription goes to support the fried egg, shotgun start, our work. We're going to be out and about all most of the summer, whether it's for our own events, U.S. Open. We're all going to be at the U.S. Open. We got a cool, nifty little arrangement there with the brewery down the hill.
Local remedy.
Local Remedy Brewery. If you're thinking about going to Oakmont for the U.S. Open, stop by Local Remedy. We're going to be there like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's a bar. It's like within a mile. It's a brewery. It's pretty new. It's open within the last year. Super cool spot. We podcasted from there. We're going to have merch. It's like within a mile, just down the hill from Oakmont. Local Remedy. So come check that out. We'll be there all week. But our Good Walk gets us out on the road, supports us going to the U.S. Open. You go to goodwalkcoffee.com/shotgun. You can get either the light blend, medium light at fried egg, golf blend, or the shotgun start blend that's medium dark. Again, use the promo code SGS. You get 20% off. Thank you. Good stuff. Get it coming to your house regularly. Let's continue with our contender pretender. Rahm is 6 under, 5 back. Jon Rahm got some good breaks. He was he was not a grumpy boy today. Talked about his lucky breaks at 8 and 11. Was it 8 and 11? Or 9? Yeah, I think it was 8 and 11. 11 is where he dinged the guy in the head. He talked about he was just a happy boy. Boy.
I gotta
play
say,
with Hovland and Fleetwood.
I gotta say, when he went on with Amanda Balionis, to do the post round like walk through his shots, it might have been the happiest I've ever seen him look. It just seemed like there was just this like relief of like I am relevant again in the world of golf. Was just released.
I think it's gotta like this is what he wants.
His face like lit up when she started to ask him to go into his shots. He was so excited. I guarantee he's missed this. I mean, he probably hasn't done this for like almost 2 years now.
He got to play with his Ryder Cup teammates in Hovland and Fleetwood. There's a little camaraderie there that he probably hasn't had. He gets to be on CBS. He's sitting down with CBS. He's playing well at a major. He went from grumpy boy to happy boy, bubbly boy. It was incredible. Good round of golf. Took the lead there early. Gave one back there at the end with a bogey on 17. Totally excusable. That was a thing that happened today. But he's 5. He got this like you just talked about with Scotty. Is this just a great player that's going to make it moot?
I think he's the guy that can, if he got off to a hot start tomorrow, can apply the pressure. That's the guy that Scotty, if Scotty's standing there on the first tee and, Rahm will be in the third to last group. And if Jon Rahm has put a birdie on the board and maybe 2 birdies on the board, that's where Scotty's might start to think like, oh, this is a hard start. These are tough holes. And maybe he makes a bogey, or 2 bogeys out of the first 3 holes. And all of a sudden Rahm is playing like, the thing that happens there is that Rahm gets to those scoreable holes. Like the way that, if you could sketch this out, is Rahm plays the first 6, maybe 2 under. And then he gets to those scoreable holes and he puts, 2 birdies on the board on 7 and 8. And that's where Scotty might look and be like, oh my God. And that's where he's got tough holes. But like, this is the thing. What Scotty just did, it just puts so much distance. It's hard. You're talking about him again. Like, could Rahm go out and shoot 65? Yeah, and like there's gonna be a question like, how is Kerry Haig gonna set up the course? Is he gonna set up the course to score? Well, if he does that, it makes it like really hard for Scotty to shoot over par.
Yeah. That's always the I don't know if it's the hidden aspect, but whenever it's like, oh, you can move, you can make a big move. Well, the leader can't make a big move, one way. That's big, the biggest problem. He leads the field off the tee. He birdied 1 and 3 today. So what you're talking about is an early number, and then get to the middle of the portion where you can maybe put a 2. He kind of didn't take advantage of the chance for an eagle at 14. Missed it on the high side there. I thought it was really interesting to hear him talk to Amanda about. There's a little bit of there's like a undercurrent of Rahm. Does Rahm hit like the 3/4 shot? Right? Is he just kind of, he's an all-world talent, a legendary talent, very possibly going for the career slam at some point in his career. Could be this summer. There's like a little bit of an undercurrent of people. I've heard it like, well, can he hit like the 3/4 shot or the field shot? He talked about it today. Perfect 3/4 shot into 16. Talked about hitting draws. Like, oh, you told me I can't hit a draw. Now, one was with the 5 wood. Maybe, I think some of people say.
Did you hear? I wish you would have shown the tee shot in 16 because it was a draw.
It was a draw as well. So, I mean, you're talking about somebody who seems to be having much more confidence in his swing ability to hit 3/4 shots both way and then move it both ways, and was vehement, as you would expect, that his major performance had nothing to do with where he was playing golf. He's like, his swing was not where it needed to be. He said after the round, and you could see that, even before he went to live in his majors after the Masters. And then before, he said once he won the Masters, the only other time he played well was at the Ryder Cup that year. Played really well, and that was all pre-live. So he was already starting to look for his swing. This is John Rahm's explanation. It was not a matter of being on live, which I kind of accept. I accept that explanation. Contender. You're putting him in the contender bucket.
I'll put him in the contender. To me, he feels like the guy that's gonna track him down if it happens, right?
Yeah. Is there anyone else worth?
Like that. That's like, I just think about the Brooks Rahm Masters, and that's where my head kind of goes.
Yeah,
with how he could do it.
I mean, that happened pretty quickly. That happened in about, I don't know, 7 holes. He flipped that. Some of that had
my head. I think that was 3 shots though, and it was like 30. It was like 28 holes or something. That day. Yeah. Well, I guess I'll put Noren in the contender bucket, just because could have just an early sign of what's to come at Bethpage.
They got too many guys. LD's got too many guys. It's incredible. Noren right back in the mix. Really fun to watch. Proper player, proper worker. It's just 66 didn't come out of nowhere, but he's been on the shelf for months. He played Philly last week and then immediately into the final group on Sunday at the PGA. What else do you want to talk about? Anything? The Rory delay this morning. He's walking across the bridge and they blow the horn. It's kind of Mickey Mouse stuff from the PGA. Either play or don't. So you go from maybe, I'm talking about not Rory, but everybody, Xander, whoever else, playing before the wind goes,
the last pairing of the day.
To then like playing basically opposite the leaders. Yeah, 138. Not that he was going to win, but there was that felt, you get up at 6 or whatever you do, and you're going across to the first tee and they blow the horn, and then you're playing in 3s at 140. Kind of nuts. So
yeah, the biggest disappointment of the day was Don Ray not getting to cook.
They shut him down. He's apparently in an everyday vest there. So maybe we need to come around on Don. He's going to throw his weight around in the trophy presentation tomorrow.
Do you think he got a talking to before he went on?
No. I don't think anyone talks to Don. He doesn't let people give him a talking to. He does the talking. You think CBS told him?
I'm thinking somebody else at the PGA told him to keep it down.
I know.
Stick to the script.
I think he's the head guy.
Can I follow up just a little bit?
Felt like that was maybe supposed to be a booth visit, and they're like, maybe Nance's like, nah, you could just no. Old Don doesn't need to. I have no inside info. I doubt that's the case, but it was just amusing that they did. They gave him like 2 questions, 30 seconds, boom, bingo,
It's my
bango.
personal opinion on it. There is no personal opinion. I'm the president of the PGA of America.
Disappointed we didn't get any of that from Don. I went to the driving range today. Just
Really?
Public. Oh, I brought my daughter. I hit 2 balls. I brought my daughter. We were at the driving range for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But
what happened?
were
you hitting Pro V1s?
I was disappointed that my daughter from the day she was born wasn't hitting the balls that the pros hit. I am now against bifurcation because of that. I was so disappointed today at the range balls that we hit. That my daughter will hit balls that were different than Scotty Scheffler was hitting today. She was watching the golf today, asking, "Dad, are those the same golf balls we hit this morning?" And I said, I had to look her in the eye and say, "No, they aren't." So now I'm against bifurcation.
Last
All
bit,
a joke, by the way.
Last bit on the Perfect for a Saturday show. It is. I hope people know that's a joke. Kerry Haig did issue a statement after there was many people like, what the hell? Can the PGA clarify what's going on with the driver testing? Rory's driver. We haven't heard from anybody on this. He issued a statement. It's not even worth reading. It's Kerry Haig just chewing on your wall. It's special. We did do testing. This is customary. And yeah, I think it's everything we expected. They creep over the limit. This is not unusual. Neither the USGA or PGA of America have any concerns about player intent. So we have an official comment there. They've been doing some testing. They just need to test everyone. So that's the follow-up on that story. I don't have anything else. Any Quail Hollow thoughts? Played fine today. Played all right. I mean, you're getting Scotty straight from TPC Craig Ranch, going ham there. Perfect prep. And now he's just passing the test at Quail Hollow. So imagine we'll be talking about him a lot tomorrow.
I got a reply. We got a question here. A smart ass question here from Justin Birch. I am a little confused by one thing. Is Rory not the best player in the world any longer? I think unequivocally Rory McIlroy's had the best year in golf. This year he's the best player in the world right now.
I don't think anyone was being deceptive about like the time measure, the length of time upon which the measurement or that statement was being made. Yeah.
Even after Scotty win, if Scotty wins tomorrow, even after that, if you said who's been the best player in golf this year, I think Scotty Scheffler would say Rory McIlroy without a doubt.
Yeah. Yes.
He's won the Players, the Masters, and at Pebble Beach.
Some of it's like fun with words, but also some of it's just pretty self-evident. Like, is Scotty the number 1 player in the world? Yeah. Is he the best player in the world for the last 2-3 years? Yeah. Is Rory McIlroy the best player in golf this year? Yeah. I don't know. Use whatever.
Is Scotty Scheffler maybe the best player in the world right now after his last 2 performances? Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Is there a big 3? There always is a big 3.
You can find 3.
And you're almost always look back on it with regret.
God, there's too many takes out there. That's the problem. There's just too many takes. All right. I think that does it. Oh, PJ, anything on the Blandy Bryson battle, game within the game? Any great amusements there? I saw Justin Ray tweeted there were 120 yards of difference within 2 holes between the 2 chaps.
Yeah, there was a lot of difference. So it was an average of nearly 45 yards, 44 and change per off the tee shot on non-par
That's so
threes.
much. That's so much.
Blandy, the largest difference was 87 yards. Blandy chose to lay up on 14, and Bryson pumped it out there.
I love that Blandy's playing the layup game there. Everybody can get home there.
Plotting. Love it.
But Blandy got a couple out to over 300, hit 315, maybe caught a downslope there, but I think Blandy has to look in the mirror and ask himself if Bryson is the Blandy stopper. Blandy has had 2 over par rounds in his last 9, and they were both paired with Bryson. So I don't know if he's ready for the big crowds, the big stage, a lot of thanking people for what they do online. It doesn't seem like Blandy's kind of vibe.
PJ, I hate to bring it up, but what happened today to Dick Green?
Oh, it was bad. It's real bad.
What happened?
Dick Green is no longer in the lead. Dick Green is T10 after a 3 over 75 today. He was sputtering. Him, Alker, Jerry Kelly, everybody was sputtering for like the front 9, and then completely just melted on the back 9. Hit a tee shot on 10, a par 3, just airmailed the green, missed club by like 15 yards, was in complete jail. And
You bet he didn't airmail it on 18. He would have been fine.
No, he would have been fine. Here, Brendan, you told me to pull this. You want to go over this?
This is such Mickey Mouse stuff from the chin. As if these guys don't. They get carts. They get LCP, lift, clean, and place. The live show, if you're looking at the live show, and we'll share the bit on social media if you're listening on the podcast, this backboard is up pace, off the fringe, the back fringe, up, and this is a par 5, right? We know this is a par 5. You're hitting low trajectory. I think beyond the hole, we've been told it's like a massive fall off, like a real penalty for going long. The grandstand's on the green. These guys they get every. I mean, I'm not a proponent of elder abuse here. I don't want to like punish them, but can we just, I mean, this is just complete Social Security handouts here with the backboard on the green. It's ridiculous. The profile view from the side really hammers it home.
It really puts it into perspective from this angle here.
And we got Ricky Barnes replying. The Dutch boy is on Twitter. Not at the PGA, but talking about the backboard of the senior major.
But I just, Blandy's had a tough day today. I still think it's an impressive week for him. Jerry Kelly is leading the regions, but I just want to set the tone. Today is May 17th, a day that we here have had circled since November. Soren Keltson is 50 years old today.
Love that.
Happy birthday, Soren. It's time to put up or shut up.
That's good.
PJ, do you know anything about Charlie Wee?
No, I saw him on the broadcast a lot today. I was running 3 screens between Subway Series and the FA Cup final and the PGA and the regions. I was all over the place today.
You don't know much about Charlie Wee?
No, I do not.
Charlie Wee is one of the biggest proponents of a swing trend called the stack and tilt that ran rampant through the PGA Tour in the early 2010s.
He got a lot of airtime today.
Yeah, so he's just, anybody that's been a golf deranged human being for decades, Charlie Wee's just kind of one of your icons of the game. He led this swing fad, think pre social media GG swing tips, George Gankus type stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
But maybe like a little bit, maybe not on the right pathway, on the wrong pathway, like leading people astray, possibly. So Charlie Wee beat T3 2 back of Jerry Kelly. This is actually might be the more interesting golf tournament tomorrow.
I mean, there are some names up here. It's tight, and there are some names involved.
Because tomorrow's gonna all be this shot after shot. You're just gonna hear this right after shot.
We had a lot of Zinger today. Zinger is high on El Pato's stocks at the regions because he's longer than everybody else.
Of course he is. It's just the most reductive analysis. He's here. He's back. Scotty talked after the round. He said his hardest shot was a 7-iron into 16, 198 yards with the win.
That's what he did.
Dun, dun. All right, we'll be back Sunday, maybe live, maybe not right after. We'll see. We'll have the normal, actual, full recap pod. Probably bigger picture thoughts on Bryson, Scotty, Rahm, Quail Hollow, the PGA, the rest of the major season, everybody else.
maybe the only thing that can stop Scotty.
Soundboard boy, Andy, sending us out.
PJ's been hitting the board almost more
All
than
right,
me today.
whatever.
Yeah, everybody thinks it's
a
me.
group effort.
Everybody
Group
thinks
effort.
it's me all the time. PJ's on the board too. I'm not the only one with soundboard act.
Well, sometimes
right.
if you're talking, you can't do two things. It's hard to play both sides. So I'm ready to back up.
Over under for Don Reyes trophy presentation tomorrow. 30
Can I follow up
seconds.
just a little bit?
Can I follow? I was just trying to let you use that one more time. 30 seconds of speech.
Over.
Speechifying.
Oh, way over.
What?
I think he's closer to a minute.
Oh my god.
I think he's gonna
I could see him going for
filibuster.
2.
You don't. That's TV. There's not. There's not.
Do you think
that
he'll
kind of
bring up
time.
Augusta Ranch
Oh,
to everybody
God.
watching, including the kids at Augusta Ranch?
Just see Scotty standing there waiting for his trophy. All right, everybody, enjoy your Saturday nights. We'll be back with you on Sunday. Thank you for your continued support.